What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the Race Spec F1 Esports Pacific Series for Season 3 here in Tier 2. We'll take you very shortly to the highlights for round 12 at the Italian Grand Prix. But before then, I'm going to show you the highlights from the previous round, which was the Belgian Grand Prix, which you probably understand if I'm showing this to you that it's not going to plan, to say the least. Anyway, so by the way, if you haven't seen the previous video, which was the Hungarian Grand Prix, the highlights videos, then be sure to go check that one out, because it certainly was a very entertaining video and a fairly good, decent result I've had in a fairly long while, to say the least. So you can see here we're going through all the qualifying highlights here. I invalidated my first lap. I thought I'd give my teammate a little bit of a slipstream there. But on my final run here, I actually invalidate coming through Les Combes there. And obviously that pretty much ruined my qualifying session. So you'll see in a very short space of time that we qualified in position 11, so not the ideal starting position, but yeah, pretty much I just said it there myself. So position 11, probably would have liked to have been a little bit higher, but in the end it was Curving Texas that got pole position. So and my teammate is in position 14. So here we go for the race. 5 red lights and away we go here at Spa. So we're obviously doing a very rare strategy here. Well, I wasn't really too sure what the strategy was around here. We have a little bit of a nudge there with, I think that was Grim Reaper, potentially. I'm not actually sure which one of the Williams is, because some of the gamer tags in this race didn't show up for me. So weird. I was a bit unknown, like as to who was where, which one of these drivers was which. So, but I decided to go onto the hard compounded tyres to start the race on. But maybe looking back at it probably was the wrong idea anyway. So there's Breno there in the McLaren going side by side here up into Les Combes. So literally side by side, and he gets the move done. So it was a very nice move there. Yeah, basically I just decided to let him go there because of course he's on the much softer, well, when I say softer, medium compounded tyres compared to hard. So he's definitely got a little bit more speed at the moment here. But on to lap 2, we're sort of sticking on with these guys through here as we get actually a much better run here on Breno. Have a think about it. He's going to cover the inside line here down into turn 1. Have a think about it going around the outside, but it's no way to do it around the outside. But then next minute, obviously, we've got our teammate alongside us here. So, and this is going to be pretty awkward to have 2 Ferraris going side by side through here. Very, very awkward.
Yes, go.
Sort of thinking the time to just sort of let my teammate go, because obviously he's on the, just like Breno, he's on the quicker rubber compared to me. So obviously it felt better at the time to just to let him go here. So there's a yellow flag. That's F1 Hawk who's had a spin.
Nearly spun with him.
Thankfully, obviously he was ghosted in this league. Ghosting is turned on. So very thankful for that one. It's onto lap 2. There's a spinner.
Hello, that's
Breno who's gone for a spin just out of the exit of turn 16 there. So his race has gone down the drain, I think, a little bit this one, unless a safety car could save him here. There's another car, G4 server this time in the back in the AlphaTauri again. It's been a fair while between drinks, I think, since server was actually racing with us, but he's, I think, had a moment. Not sure whether he's got damaged or not, but there's my teammate getting past, the Williams cars. I wasn't sure at the time which the Williams cars it was, but we're going to try and take advantage of this as well. Up the inside, a little bit of a lock break, but I think we will get the move done, and I think it is done there. Actually, it's just confirmation there. I think it was Green Reaper as Breno has retired in the pit lane, and so Conrad obviously is doing the opposite. He's on the softs. Now the safety car has been deployed, so that may have actually helped Breno out a little bit here, but
what's the safety car?
But at this time I wasn't really too sure what the safety car was for at the time, but we're obviously going to take advantage of this, but we're going to have to double stack here behind my teammate here as we actually go through. I think that was harassed there in the Mercedes. So
do not change the wing. Do not change the fucking... too late.
Probably, yeah. I'm just telling the team not to change the wing, but I think I accidentally set it to yes, just in case we got front wing damage.
I'm changing the wing now.
So in the end, the wing did get changed, so we're going to go on to the medium compounded tyres. Now, again, I wasn't too sure whether the set of mediums could get to the end here, considering it's only, well, lap 6, and usually the pit stop, I think, for mediums is probably a couple of laps later, potentially.
Someone's way off.
It's one of the Alfa Romeos that's actually way off the road there, and it's actually, I think, the race leader, Curving Texas, who...
Cold hards.
Yeah, so you can hear cold, hard compounded tyres here as we're trying to get a good start here on, that's Grim, on the left-hand side of here, as we're just going to send it up the inside here into turn 1. Just making sure we...
Collider, that was the last thing I wanted.
Yeah, in the end, we did have a little bit of a touch there, and in the end, I think I let him go there.
It's not easy.
We obviously want to take full advantage here. We're obviously going to try and take full advantage on the guys that are... probably gone onto the hard compounded tyres thinking that they can't make it to the end. I think my teammates had a bit of a drama with a couple of cars in front there because he's got wing damage on that right-hand side.
Shit, Rock's got damage, I think.
That's, yeah, it was a terrible start there for Curving. Like I said, I think it was something to do with the cold, hard compounded tyres. But he's going side by side here with...
and it's going to end badly.
Conrad, I think I was, and he's gone for a spin there. I think they've sort of interlocked wheels there, and in the end it's not worked out for Curving there. But cut a bit further on to lap 10 as we just slide our way through Puon, only just. I probably shouldn't have touched that entry curb there through Puon. So just trying to, as we have a little bit of a moment there on the curb. And I probably said this in my previous video there as I end up going into the wall there. Somehow not getting any front wing damage from that, which I'm actually shocked about. I don't know how I did not get any front wing damage from that at all, but you can see here we're just letting these guys, or F1 Hawk, go through here because my tyres are overheating at this moment in time, and well, they're going to be overheating even more because I've just gone for another spin coming out of turn 16 there. So yeah, at this point in time,
now, Jeff.
Well, I thought there was pretty much little to no chance of getting a decent result as my teammates come into the lane here, but I did mention this in my other in my Elite Series videos. We get a ridiculous 10-second time penalty. I don't know what the hell that was for here, but we just come into the pit lane speed, and that was pretty much it. Which, to be fair, I mean, Spec, who's obviously commentates out here, he wasn't too thrilled about that I actually just retired in the pit lane, considering there was an opportunity there. But yeah, that was. I mean, I could have possibly stayed out if I could and maybe got a good result, but yeah, at that time I thought that was that really. So yeah, apologies, Spec, for that one. Anyway, so but we now get to Italy, which is now obviously Ferrari's home track. There's the championship standings. So it's 68 points between GeForce Dre and OP Magic in the standings. In the constructors, it's 127 points between Mercedes and Haas. So Mercedes are looking dominant at the moment there in the championship. As there's the overall standings. We are currently P16, I think, from memory, in the standings. There's all the license points. Been pretty clean so far the last couple of rounds, and there's all the drivers of the days. I think it might have been, I can't actually remember who it was, Banana got the driver of the day last time. But Haas still lead the squad championship standings. Ferrari is slowly but surely making their way up the standings. We've now into P8 in the standings here. But here we go around. This is possibly the biggest race of the season, considering. Well, I mean, obviously I've said this before in previous videos, but championship is definitely well and truly over here. But considering I had a good result, well, the last time out in Hungary, Belgium is another different story anyway. But
didn't feel like a great first corner at all.
But just going back to what I was saying earlier on as well, the entry curve there through turn 14, I wasn't really comfortable with that at all there. So hence why I have a little loss coming out of the Variante della Roggia. And that really cost me lap time around that corner there especially. So I knew this lap was going to be a dead set write-off, to say the least. So we'll come across the line here.
Lap time, it's not going to
be into the 20s. I think it's a 20.1. Sorry, 20.8 actually, I should say, which is pretty much dead last here. It was P7, now it's P8 because other cars, somebody else had gone a bit higher than us there anyway. So yeah, like I was saying earlier on with the Belgium, I wasn't not confident with that corner at all, hence why I had a little bit of a spin there. So, we're hoping to make some inroads here, and obviously this is the biggest race because this is Ferrari's home track, and usually they want to do, I wanted to do well here around for the Tifosi, so not really too sure whether the win was on the cards here. If we had a decent setup, I can't actually remember who gave me the setup, if I'm honest, because it was a fair while ago here, but we'll stick aboard here because this is actually my fastest lap of the race, and you'll see why a little bit later on. So coming through Curva Grande, and now sizing up Variante della Roggia. We went fastest in the first sector there. Not the ideal run through the curb there. Actually get a little bit too sideways there again. But thankfully we didn't do we did a much better job, I should say, compared to the first lap around. So the second lap obviously was a little bit of a cool down, and then we go again on this set of tyres because I think I may have chosen the balanced set. I can't actually remember if I chose the balanced set or not, but we've got to use our soft competitor tyres very cautiously through here. So we're green through sector 2 there, which is about, 1.3 seconds here.
Lap, why not?
Here, I originally was going to abort at the end of this lap if, well, one, if the lap time wasn't good, but two, obviously to save on the tyres a little bit for later, but in the end, I decided to finish this lap as we come around Parabolica there, across the line here. It's going to be an improvement. It goes up to P5 there, just behind Grim Reaper and Kickbutt, in between Kickbutt Kiwi as well. So that was a 1:19.469
Lovely stuff.
P5 as we just make it into the pit lane with just enough fuel.
Like literally just enough fuel.
Just enough fuel up our sleeve there, you could probably tell. Now, I think I was... actually, let me take that back. I don't think I did a lot of practice going into this round, but I had a pretty lowish setup. I picked the softest setup, so that's confirmation there.
We'll go 3.7
around here. So yeah, we're going to see if we can do a little bit better.
What's that? A 10th off drain the first sector, not quite 4/10 off second sector, and thereabouts in this third. So we just need to get that second sector fixed up and we'll be right. Joggles just jumped himself in.
So just sort of comparing the different sectors between the top guys, which of course G-Force Dre is currently leading at the moment at a position of 1. And obviously, it's not the ideal situation considering Ferrari currently want to do well here around the circuit, and a German make is currently leading it around Italy. So probably not the ideal way to start around here. So we went out again for our second flyer on the soft competitor tyres, as I actually had a little bit of an issue with, well, I wouldn't say an issue, but I forgot to edit out a few bit of video on my original, in the Sony Vegas program. You guys and girls will not have seen it, but I've just literally just edited it out. But
it's a fine line.
Literally, the second time around, I tried going a little bit deeper, going down into turn 1, but it backfired a little bit there. So I'm literally way off the pace in the first sector, but I absolutely nail the Variante della Roggia. That's probably one of the best ones that I've done through this whole qualifying. Well, so far, I might still do it better later on, but I just run a little bit right through the second Lesmo, and in the end up in the wall. Thankfully, I don't think I got any front wing damage because the way the car positioned itself at the time. As you can see, I was quickly trying to get out of the way to make sure I didn't just make sure I didn't get anybody's way while they're on flies. There you can see there was Sir LJB and I think Conrod, I think, as well. But we went again just to sort of see what the pace was like as well, see if we can get a much better run out of turn 1, which we actually did a lot better than the first time around here. But you could sort of see as well, as I think, I'm not sure whether I nailed it better or not, but again, I just ran a little bit too wide through the second Lesmo, so I'm probably just carrying a little bit too much speed through there. We get a nice little slipstream there from Sir LJB. We actually go fastest in the middle sector. Whether that's still a glitch or not, I'm not entirely sure, but didn't quite nail Ascari at any big time, and nail it at all through there. So well, anyway, in the end, I was going to abort this lap anyway, considering the clock is ticking. And if I continued this lap anyway. Probably there would have been touch and go a little bit of whether I'd make it out for a second run. Well, when I say a second run, a third run, I should say. So we dive it back into the pit lane, and we're just going to see whether we can go any quicker at all. Otherwise, we'll be starting a little bit further back. I'm not sure.
It won't be a bad thing if I start outside the top 10. Worst comes to worst.
You can probably just hear. It probably wouldn't be a bad thing, like I said, if I started outside the top 10, because I mean it sort of worked at around Hungary, not so necessarily around Belgium, but it definitely sort of worked around Hungary. So there's a possibility.
No, that's my profile.
We're just seeing all the times. Everybody's pretty much sets a lap time.
20.3.
A few guys that are probably a little bit further down the back that I
had a decent qualifying
was a little bit surprised about.
Round 1. So, and of course, it was my home circuit. Now I'm at Ferrari's home circuit.
So you can tell I really wanted to do a decent job. And, yeah, like I said then, I haven't had a decent qualifying since probably the first round of the season, as we try to take turn 1 a little bit better, which we sort of do. We probably could have gone a little bit more on the curb through turn 1, but we are going green in sector 1 here. Take a nice tight line through Curva Grande. We've actually been pushed back to P9 here, because obviously if you guys have moved up and down the grid, obviously. And again, coming through Variante del Rogia. Again, pretty much nailing it. Probably not ideal coming off the exit there, but it definitely felt a lot better than the first couple of runs anyway. Let's see if we can nail the second Lesmo, which we just run a little bit too wide.
Damn it.
Which invalidates our lap time. So it probably would have been a decent lap otherwise, but we'll continue on here, because I thought may as well see what the lap time put us here, see whether we would have gain us any more positions or not. We've dropped all the way back to P11 now, so if we're basically going to be starting outside the top 10, which probably is not a bad thing, but let's just see where this lap time would have put us here had we continued on, and it would have been a valid lap here. So across the line here, it is going to be green.
It would have been in the 18s maybe.
Where are we here? If I can find my lap. It would have been a 19.089.
Fuck.
You can tell I'm not thrilled myself for making that error. Just running too wide through the second Lesmo. So a potential 18 was on the cards as well. If I got in the 18s, I would have probably
pissed with myself for that.
Probably been up around the top guys there, but it is G-Force Dre that gets another pole position ahead of Conrad, who that's probably his best qualifying this whole season. So very nice job there for him. Haras makes it a 1 and 3 for Mercedes. I think that's F1 Hawk
second
there
Lesmo.
in position 4. Greenman P5, and you probably would have saw on the rest there. We start out of P11.
Get in the bin.
So, but that lap time would have been good enough for P7. So we would have gained a few spots, and we would have probably started a little bit better. But yeah, if I probably nailed the lap a little bit better, I probably would have been, fingers crossed, hopefully a bit top, around the top guys, I would have thought anyway. But with the strategy now, being outside the top 10.
OP Magic, my apologies.
Well, actually got dropped back to P13, actually. So, with this strategy, we're going to do the opposite around here. That's pretty simple, soft to medium, medium to soft around here. So we're basically going to do the opposite strategy around here. So we're going to go mediums to soft compounded tyres. Now, I was probably a little bit surprised as well that I think it was only me and OP Magic that are doing the mediums to softs, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but I was actually surprised quite a few guys started on the softs outside the top 10.
Get through turn 1
this will be interesting to see.
I
would have thought, considering outside the top 10, that the medium compounded tyres, you can go longer, and then you play a bit of a factor later on in the race. So, we'll just have to wait and see how this will play out. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be a decent result for the Tifosi around here, around Monza, their home circuit. So here we go. We're all set for round 12 at Italy. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Monza, and it's a decent-ish start off the line here. We're not going to do anything silly down here into turn 1. As you can see, someone's a bit of dirt flying all over the shop here. It's Banana Cake Pie. It's way off in the dirt and taken literally all 3 braking markers off the left-hand side there. So, yeah, that's really going to help a bit later on here. So all those 3 braking markers are probably ideal for me. But obviously now we're going to take full advantage of this. I'm not actually sure whether Banana's got front wing damage or not. If anything, it might be the left-hand side if there was any damage from there. So we've dropped all the way back to P14. But Banana actually got a good run out of the Variante della Roggia, but thankfully we've just managed to hang on for the time being. But now we're stuck in behind CLJB as he just runs a little bit wide there, but obviously DRS won't get enabled to lap 3, but you can probably guess around here. Slipstream is key. You see we get a nice drive, well, nice slipstream through into Ascari. And we just lose a little bit of momentum through there. If anything, we're probably losing a little bit of ground. I had to use a bit of overtake here.
Banana's got damage or not.
Just to keep in front of Banana Cake Pie. So LJB just looking for a bit of fresh air by the looks of things. We're still within this train here. So it looks like Dre's still leading the way here as we complete lap 1. And I think he
VRS already,
potentially is. Actually, I might take that back. Actually, I think Conrad may have got the jump on him at the start here. But we're still under attack here from Banana Cake Pie down into turn 1. Obviously, he's on the soft compounded tyres compared to me. I'm on the mediums. But we just managed to keep in front of him going down to the turn 1. You see Edmund and Joggles, I think, are battling away. Edmund in the other Renault and Joggles in the Alpha Tauri, and now his momentum's going to be hurt here a little bit because LJB I think's got the move done. Yes, he does. But unfortunately for Conrad, what was such a good qualifying position is now lagged out. So that's the last thing he would have wanted. We were right all over the back there of Edmund in the Renault, but we just managed to avoid hitting up the backside of his Renault. But LJB goes very wide again through the second Lesmo. That's twice now in 2 laps that he's done this. So we might see if we can try and take full advantage of this. But a little think about it. We get the overlap here. Down into Ascari. There's a little bit of touch there. Which I thought he turned in on me a little bit there. But thankfully we avoided going for a spin. That probably would have been nearly race over.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I had that funny feeling that it was going to happen. That sort of contact, so we just managed to avoid it without any damage, and we continue on here. So
a little bit.
On to lap 3 now. We're still pretty much in our same position as where we've always been so far, but these yellow flags a little bit further around. I think that may. I think it was actually Conrad who's off the road there. I think he was rejoined. I'm not actually 100% sure, but or whether his AI car's just gone off for him. But
all aboard the slipstream train.
It's yeah, this is when the slipstream train begins because now DRS has now been enabled on lap 3. So poor old Conrad, I did feel for him. He was leading the race, I think, on the end of lap 1, and now he's all the way down in last. But someone go very wide. That's my teammate.
Jesus Christ, mate.
He's very lucky to not have DNF from that, but I don't know whether he's got front wing damage or not from that, but he'll probably have to maybe come in, or he might actually try and continue on considering he's on the soft compounded tyres. And now lap 5, you can see there's a little bit of moving around in the foreground there, so we're still hanging on with this group. There's actually quite a few cars here, actually. It's got Kickbutt Kiwi, I think, leading this pack ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Blocky Rex, I think it is. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. There's Banana still all over the back of me. I was a bit annoyed that he's still annoying me, but we close up right to the back of LJB. We were just sitting in behind for the time being. Of course, these soft compounded tyres will start to die off. But here's the replay on the start here. I don't actually know what's happened with the Banana Cake Pie, whether he's just gone off. I can't actually remember whether he got a touch there or whether it was just randomly just gone off completely here. And I don't think grass and F1 cars mix a lot here. So, but that was all the 3 braking boards that were destroyed down at turn 1, which basically meant I had to look at the right-hand side, which still had braking boards there, to see where my braking markers were going down to the turn 1. It's lap 6 here.
Already.
Using the DRS here as Banana now dives it into the pit lane, so he's probably trying a little bit of an undercut here. Look at the amount of cars
on the hards
we've got here. So the Banana going onto the hard compounded tyres, so he obviously doesn't feel confident he can get on to the end of the mediums. As we get a nice run there compared to LJB through. That was Variante della Roggia, and we get the move done. So that's up into P11 now. And we managed to hang on. We obviously will get the DRS, and we should start to pull away as well from LJB. So this is probably, well, maybe not quite as we get very sideways come out of Ascari there. That's probably the second time that I've done that. So it's not too far away. Probably this lap, if not the next couple of laps, with the softs start to die off a little bit here. But we were a bit under attack again from Sir LJB down into turn 1. He has a little think about it, but we'll have the inside line here into, well, turn 2. If we get the much better drive out of the corner here, then we should hang on for the time being. But this battling is not really helping me, because obviously I want to keep in the 1 second window to Edmund there for the DRS straight. So and considering this train is still going, as Edmund makes a little error coming through the Variante de la Rogier, might have actually took the curbs a little bit too wrong there, way off course there, and unfortunately he's ended up losing a couple of spots from that. So well, that obviously means we won't get the DRS, because the next car ahead, Joggles, is 1.4 seconds clear in front of us here. So we literally have to use a little bit of ERS here.
Oh my word.
There's a lot of cars that are doing looks like all over the shop here. I think OP Magic is up there as well. Now he's obviously the first guy on the medium compound tyres with me, so being the second car, I think. So these guys are battling away here as OP and Juggles are still having their little contretemps here, and that probably made no sense at all whatsoever. Kickbutt still leading that train. I still think it's Blocky Rex. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Juggles had a little moment in the gravel there. It's put OP had a little bit of a think about it going through into the Lesmos, but thought better of it. Now obviously we get into the DRS. We're not quite out of the 1 second window behind with Sir LJB, so now we'll be stuck in the slipstream here with these guys. If anything, Kickbutt Kiwi's probably the guy in the wrong spot here. But we just fly through here. There's literally cars going every which way. Joggles gives a little bit of a squeeze there.
Not Blocky, it's curving Texas. Oh dear.
As it is, Blocky Rex, Blocky Rex, and sorry, I should say, and Joggles have come together. But coming into Parabolica there.
What the hell just happened?
Full advantage of that. We'll get 2 spots out of all of that. I literally have no idea what the hell happened there, whether Blocky didn't realise that Joggles was there or what, but it was probably a risky move.
Just happened?
I was in shock. I could not believe that could just occurred there, but does mean we gain a lot of time here onto the back of OP Magic, and also to Kickbutt Kiwi now, who was, like I said, who's the leader of the train. Now he's going to be under attack from us two behind on the medium compound tyres. We have a little bit of gravel. Jeff is giving the warning that the grip will start to wear out a little bit, but of course the mediums can go just a tad longer than the soft compound tyres, so that means the soft guys will probably be not too far away from pitting, as there we go. So there goes Kickbutt Kiwi into the pit lane, as onto lap 10 we go. It means OP will obviously still get the DRS. As also my teammate came into the lane as well, so that puts us both into 4th and 5th. And now we'll be chasing after Grim as we give a little bit of a nudge there, probably not intentional that was, to OP there, but we're just sort of sticking in the slipstream here. Still got Sir LJB not too far behind, of course. I think he's outside the 1 second window, so I would not think he'd be too far away from pitting. Get off his soft compound tyres.
How the hell are we keeping this on the track? I have no idea.
But yeah, that was probably another moment I had coming out of Ascari where I saved the car again. But there goes Grim Reaper,
probably.
And Harass is also in the pit lane.
Curving. Jesus, he's going long.
So that now elevates us up into P3. I forgot to mention Dre also come in a couple of laps earlier, I think. So Curving's pretty much the last of the soft compound tyre runners that is left to pit, really. So, and he's going the longest, so he's going...
Jeff don't care about the gap behind the teammate. I know he's still in the race, but in a different race here.
It's Jeff giving me the, I think it'll be the update on my teammate, or it might have been the car behind, one of the two anyway. So, but I didn't really want to know about it because obviously I'm pretty much focused on this fight here at the moment here with OP. So just trying to stay in that 1 second window here. Obviously the gap back to Dre is about not quite 10 seconds. It's now Curving comes into the lane now, so that releases all of us on the medium compound tyres. So it's basically me and OP, I think, has just left the pit, which will mean I think Dre will take the effective race lead back because he's now just got ahead of Curving out of the pit lane. So, but Curving will stay ahead of Harass there. So, but of course Curving will have the fresher medium tyre, so he might be able to close in on Dre, as we get a little bit too sideways there coming out of the Lesbos. Probably just got on the power a little bit too early there. That sort of cost us momentum there. I was thinking about having a go coming down into Ascari there, but on to lap 13 now. This is, well, I wouldn't say this was maybe the turning point of the race here, but you see, I'm just having a little bit of a think about it here. I think it was like for the first couple of laps, I'm thinking I want to try and get past him here, like, because I want to lead this race. But and then it dawned on me, sort of thing.
Losing time to Dre, that's fine.
You see, we're just sort of closing in again to the back of OP, but again, just back away for the time being. We set a personal best as well. Joggles, I think, sets the fastest lap of the race now, but just sort of keeping within range here of OP. To just sort of keep in the DRS, obviously, but again, just not the greatest run through again for the second Lesbos. That was really not ideal. I think it was struggling a little bit with that this weekend. I don't know why, but in using the slipstream here and then just backing away a little bit here. But it sort of then dawned on me a little bit earlier that maybe, well, I don't know whether I realised this during the race or whether after the race, but that was nearly close to a personal best. But basically, this is sort of actually working for me here, because I could just afford to not use the rich mix fuel here, but just keep in his slipstream here, and obviously OP will sort of drag me along here. So, then I obviously thought maybe leading probably isn't the ideal way to think about it, but obviously for later on as well, considering just in case we want to do maybe an undercut on OP. Also, you're going to have a bit of a, well, when I say we're going to go nuts till later on in the race anyway on the soft compounded tyres. Again, not the greatest of runs
sideways and a half there
through here, but you'll probably see what's on board here. We set a personal best and onto lap 15 here. So as Dre now sets the fastest lap of the race. We see here just now just rolling out of the throttle. OP just goes in a little bit deep here into turn 1. But again, I'm just sort of just doing, I don't really want to be leading at this stage of the race, because this probably the opposite would happen if I was in front here and he was behind, pretty much what we're doing right now. So he's going to be a VRS there into the Variante de la Rogier, but again, as he gets a little moment, I think, through there, but we're still keeping a decent gap behind. Obviously, it is closing, because obviously we'll have to pit very, very shortly, even the next lap or two, possibly. But that's now the yellow indicator.
Don't have to remind me.
The yellow indicators now come on, which means obviously the tyre we're starting to kick in. We have a little think about it, but obviously you drive straight down the middle of the road. I mean, that's fair play to OP. Obviously, that was the line he wanted to take, so yeah, fair play. Not going to argue with that whatsoever, but this is really helping us slipstreaming-wise. And like I said, it could potentially help us later on for a potential undercut if we could get the jump on OP, because obviously no slipstream probably does not really help around here, especially if you're the lead car. So, but again, we cut onto lap 16 now. This is probably near or thereabouts the pit window here. And again, just following him in the slipstream here. He's trying to obviously break the slipstream on me, but I'm having really much none of that. So, but again, didn't quite nail turn 1 there. I think I maybe just took too much curb there, or the car didn't ride well over that bump there. So we lost a little bit of ground there to OP, but thankfully we just managed to keep within the DRS window, I think. Yes, we do. So that was an added bonus there. So it's flying through now into Ascari.
Oh, he's looked 60.
Just having a look at the tyre wear. The tyre wear was starting to just dip up, go up a little bit from here. So I thought this is probably, and we're not too far away from the pit stops. And I thought at this stage, if OP does not go in, then I may as well go in and dive it in for an undercut. So here we go. This is the moment that we need. So all that slipstreaming may help us here for later on in the race. Obviously, we're going to be blazing on the soft compounded tyres, and this is sort of when the window opens for the softs. They usually go about 9-10 laps, maybe a little bit longer. Obviously, Kirby did 11 laps on the softs, but obviously the top 3 have gone by. I felt like a podium was definitely a potential here if we can get past these cars very, very quickly here. As we come out of the pit lane, we come out with pretty much clean air around us. Maintain actually a nice gap in front of my teammate there in position 7. And Grim Reaper is not too far up the road here. So at this point in time, I thought maybe the podium...
so perfectly.
Yeah, that was just literally so perfectly to just come out pretty much in fresh air. And we can...
Tyres to the end.
Obviously, yeah, we've got to take these tyres to the end, but we can absolutely go blazing to the end and maybe try and undercut. That's my first warning of the race, I think. So I was actually keeping it pretty conservative. Well, conservative, would you say conservative? But we were just making sure, obviously, we didn't get any penalties, because usually this track is known for a bit of corner cutting here, but we're right all over the back of Grim Reaper. OP's now in the pit lane. There he is, actually. So we have done the undercut on him here. Grim moves to the late inside very late there down into turn 1, which I was not overly thrilled about. But we're going to go right around the outside on much grippier tyres, and we get the move done there. You see, I'm just giving him a little bit of a weave
close
there.
Grim, I tell you.
I wasn't overly too thrilled about that sort of late move there. We'll get a replay of that a bit later on, but that's important as well, because that puts a car between me and OP Magic, and this is the time where I pretty much have to bolt. And the next up the road is OP's teammate, F1 Hawk, in the other Haas. So, and if I could get past it quickly, then potentially the podium is there. Now, the win is probably out of the question, but the podium is definitely not out of the question here, with Harass there in P3. So we're on fresh, soft, compounded tyres. We set the fastest middle sector now. So we're staying on board here because this is actually my fastest lap of the race. Flied through Ascari. So we could potentially have a podium for the Tifosi.
What's the gap, mate?
6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:23.6. They have a time penalty of 3.
Okay, Hawk's got a penalty.
3 seconds will be added to their time at the end of the race.
Fastest lap, get in.
It's the fastest lap of the race now with a 21.6. It's 1.7 seconds quicker than our fastest lap time on the mediums. But let's have a look at this replay with us and Green Reaper. That was obviously, we got the undercut on OP, but you just see he just moves late a little bit there.
Oh my
and that really caught me off guard there a little bit. And I mean, you can probably tell my frustration there that I wasn't overly too thrilled about the late move there, but we probably did discuss it a little bit later afterwards, after the race. But yeah, wasn't overly too thrilled about that one. But here we go. Now we've finally caught up to the back of F1 Hawk here on lap 20. Trying to have a look around the outside. It was probably not the ideal run through there. We set another fastest middle sector there, but we have to try and get past F1 Hawk as quick as possible if we can. Now, of course, obviously I knew I was going to be
no pressure
up for a fight here, obviously, but I wasn't really sure how much of a fight he would put up here. Well, if you consider back to Hungary, the guys didn't really, as F1 Hawk covers the inside line here, so he really wants to be up for a fight here. Nearly got my words mixed up there, so he's going to cover the inside line here. We're going to see if we can try and put him off here into turn 1, see if he makes a mistake, and maybe see if we can try and catch him out here. Coming off the first couple of corners here into Curva Grande here, which we do. Try and get a good run here, but he moves late onto the sort of the racing line there when I was sort of committed there a little bit, which again I wasn't overly too thrilled about. But then coming through, it's a variant into Rogier. We go.
Fuck me dead, mate.
Way too deep there. That was my bad there. We'll get a replay of this a little bit later on, but that means we've obviously lost a couple of spots.
Can't just move across like that, fuck's sake.
And you'll probably understand my frustration with that late move that happened through Curva Grande, but now we've got a little bit more work to do, and this has sort of compromised ourselves a little bit as well. So let's have a look here on the replay. You can see I go to the right, and then he sort of...
Oh, come on, mate.
He moves late, this is what I thought at the time. Obviously, I felt like he moved a little bit too late there, and then coming through here, I'll put my hand up. That was my error.
Fuck me dead, mate.
That was definitely my error at the time there. I probably got a little bit heated, as you can probably aware, for that late move that he did to Curva Grande. But that means, obviously, now OP's got ahead.
Nice teamwork from Haas.
And that probably was just a little bit heated there. I apologise to the Haas boys, because I felt like whether teamwork it was a factor in that, I really doubt it. But I mean, that was just what I felt at the time, and I probably get a little bit heated from time to time. You're probably well aware of that. But now we have to try and make our way back through the field again. So, but this chances of the podium are sort of just slipping away a little bit here with that little incident there. So we're back up to P6. Now, next one up is F1 Hawk.
3.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:26.6. You're losing 4 seconds a lap. Try to pick up the pace. They have a time penalty of 3.0. 3 seconds will be added to their time at the end of the race.
And he's still got 3 seconds worth of penalties. And at this stage, I've only got the one warning, I think, from memory.
You and me again, Hawks.
And that was just me, just lap 23. Like, this is like take 2, or attempt 2, I should say.
Easily, that is.
Yeah, and I think that was probably when I knew that I probably lost myself P4 there a little bit. Now we're right all over the back here of F1 Hawk once again. Coming through the second, through the 2 Lesbos, I should say. We're going to try and get a good run here onto this back straight before Ascari to see if we can maybe put him off here a little bit. Obviously, I knew he was going to be up for a fight here, so we're going to try and go around the outside. He again moves late.
Seriously, mate, what is this driving?
I felt like, again, that was a very, very late move. Trying to go around the outside, that was probably...
Give me room, mate. Fucking hell, mate.
That was probably risky, to say the least, going around the outside of the Ascari, but...
what is this driving, honestly?
Yeah, you can tell I'm not overly happy with the driving.
Sorry for what happened earlier, but you're the one that started it, mate.
Well, again, at the time, I felt like he was the one that instigated this sort of thing, because obviously he did move late. As
don't care about fucking lag.
My internet sort of be playing up a little bit there, I think. So, you see, I was just trying to put the pressure on it here again into turn 1. He's going straight down the middle. It's all taking nice, of course. So give him a little bit of a nudge to say hello, we're there, through turns 1 and 2. See if we can try and catch him out here again, coming through Curva Grande. Again, we sort of had nowhere else to go there, really, so we're just going to play it nice and cautiously for the time being here. But then I had a little bit of a moment through here.
Fucking idiots!
Don't worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Incoming.
What an absolute nonce you are, Hawk. Oh, seriously, mate, you're getting reported. I'm sorry, that's just poor, mate.
Now, again, to be fair, the heat of the moment probably got to me there. Incoming again.
Mate, that is just absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the stewards that are going to have to watch this back, but that's just disgusting, honestly. What is that driving?
So you can tell I'm not overly happy with the driving standards of F1
I don't know,
Hawk.
honestly, why you bother fighting me. Your tyres are dying, mate. Why even bother fighting? I don't get it.
Yeah, again, that was probably, again, with frustration. I knew he was up for the fight, but again, like I said, I felt like, obviously, soft competitor tyres had a bit more of an advantage. Obviously, he was trying to make me, obviously, wear the tyres out a little bit more then so he could keep his position there. But obviously, that's what had happened so far. But again, we're going side by side again with Grim Reaper up into turn 1. Again, he leaves me space compared to F1 Hawk, but we get the move done again. For P9, but yeah, that's pretty much just
minimum of fuel left.
That's pretty much just ruined our chance of a good position there. Probably rules us out now for top 5 now. So now we're going to have to try and make our way through the field here. And to be fair, I was not overly happy at all. So I was going to literally drive the wheels off this thing. And if there's any more dramas, I think maybe someone may put into a wall here. I don't actually know, but on all over the back now, Sir LJB, who's obviously on the media competitor tyres, just leaves us enough room in the end.
Care. Do I fucking care?
Brilliant. Nice.
Yeah, you can tell I was, you can probably understand my frustrations there, but now we're going to have to tackle Joggles and the Rock there. But here we go again with the replay. You can see he moves late again.
Oh, seriously, mate. What is this driving?
Now, you're probably aware, obviously, I did report this to the stewards as well, so I think from memory, if my memory serves me correctly, I felt like I should have been given a bit more space there as well.
Fucking hell, man.
You can probably understand my frustration there, but this is the other incident. You can see I probably had no dramas with that whatsoever. The heat of the moment probably caught me here, but and again, I think this is just my error. I thought for a second he may have brake checked me, but
idiots.
But that was all down to me, really. I just
What an absolute nonce you are, Hawk. Oh, seriously, mate, you're getting reported. I'm sorry, that's just poor, mate.
Yeah, but I think I'll put that up as another of my error. I think I slammed into the back of him as well there, and yeah, that's just what it is, really. Some days races go your way, some days they don't. So, well,
just ruined my chance of getting P4. Bloody brilliant driving.
Yeah, again, I was not overly thrilled about F1 Hawk at this time, but getting an update on penalties, I think that was for Joggles.
Penalty.
He's got a 3-second time penalty. Now I'm checking my teammate.
Really on the margin here with fuel.
Their tyres are 16 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 23.7, 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. They have a time penalty of 9.0. 3 seconds will be added to their time at the end of the race.
Okay, so Rock has got 9 seconds worth of penalties, and bear in mind, I think I've only got the one warning at this stage of the race. So this is looking good to gain a couple of spots out of this battle as GeForce Drake comes across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix and pretty much break all Ferrari fans' hearts. Sorry, Dre, but considering he's in a German back car. But obviously Rock had a shocking run through the Ascari chicane there. OP actually set the fastest lap of the race on the final lap there, so he'll get the extra bonus point there. But we're going to come across the line in position 8. But with the penalties, it should be P6, and it is.
P6, just behind Hawk. That's fucking right, isn't it?
And of course, it had to be behind F1 Hawk.
Unbelievable.
In
what
the end.
Absolute terrible driving. I mean, I'm sorry for the little tap there, Hawk. I probably got a little bit frustrated there. But, mate, that was horrible driving. I'm sorry. You don't just cut me off. Fair dinkum.
You could tell I was so pissed off at F1 Hawk, and I made my feelings clear in the Discord chat afterwards. Don't you worry. OP gets the driver of the day. But, yeah, I mean, if we didn't have those issues, we probably may have had it as well. But, I mean, it is what it is, really. If I remember to put it in, either not in this video, but probably the next video, I'll probably show you the outcome from that incident, or if I haven't shown it already. I think from memory, F1 Hawk got a few penalty points, and I think I also copped the penalty point as well for that. The first incident where I slammed into his ass, but I mean that was probably, to be fair, really that was my error. So I felt like obviously I had lost time as well. But again, that was the steward's decision, so I'll abide by it. So in the end, GeForce Dre takes the race victory ahead of Curving Texas, and Harass makes it a 1 and a 3 for Mercedes. So pretty good weekend. Both the Haas's, OP Magic and F1 Hawk, in P4 and 5. Then ourselves at P6. Probably could have been a hell of a lot better. So LJB in 7th, Grim Reaper in 8th. P9, I can't actually read. I think it was Edmund in P9, and Joggles rounds out your top 10 in P10. Rock ends up in P11. Kickbutt Kiwi in 12th. 13th belongs to Conrad, I think it does, in the end. And then the other cars at the back, Blocky and Banana, were at the back of the field. I think all the drivers finished as well, which is a handy effort all round. So, championship-wise, it's 81 points now between GeForce Dre and OP Magic, so he's extended his gap by a fair margin, considering 1st to 4th is quite a difference. Harass maintains P3, and Curving, who joined Tier 2 midway through the season, is in position 4. Mercedes have got a 145-point lead over Haas in the Constructors, so unless something catastrophic happens later in the next few rounds, then I think Mercedes have definitely got the Constructors wrapped up. Ferrari are still dead last, so we're looking really good here at the moment. There's overall standings, so Banana in position 5. That result puts us up into P11 with that 6th place. So, and obviously there's a few guys there. There's obviously the couple of reserves, both Ramsey and Kuda, who left mid-season. There's a potential now for a top 10 result in this championship. I haven't given up hope of at least getting a top 10. That'll be just something to comprehend my horrible season, to say the least. But yeah, that was the Italian Grand Prix. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more RaceSpec F1 Esports content on F1 2020, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, I'll leave the links down below for the Spec F1 Esports social channels, their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, plus the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. Plus, you can also check out, I'll leave a link hopefully down below to the Discord if you want to come and join the league. There'll be a link for that down below. And again, I apologise for the language that I used during this race anyway. So, but anyway, until the next time when we next meet, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.